that bombed.
Yeah.
You
It's
could
called
take
springboarding.
that term,
Springboarding.
Springboarding.
You springboard.
As
Yeah.
long as you don't bring
And there's
the other
nothing wrong with
comedian
that.
down.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's the one thing that they have, like, kind of like an unspoken rule that you don't go after other comedians unless they've gone after you. You know, part of like friendly game. But you're not just springboarding
go
off of a first timer who's just downright shitty. You know what I mean?
Nothing
but
wrong
you
with that.
Springboard off of him.
Yeah,
You know,
and there's
I don't
nothing
know.
wrong. I don't
What
have
am
no
I
problem
talking
with
about?
I have no problem with that because if I've been shitty. Okay, I started when I was, I felt shitty. I hated the sound of my voice, I hated the look on my face, the expressions I made on stage, and after I was like, I'm okay, and that's probably where I'll always stay. You're okay, and that's where I'll always stay, and that's but that's where I stay. I don't know if anybody else should stay there, but I know it keeps you. Some of these people that you say bomb and all that stuff, they'll go somewhere else and tell the same joke somewhere else
And
in front of the
hit.
audience, and they will kill.
I have never hit.
There's
and
some
felt
people
it.
that do
They
it for
will.
10
They
years
will.
and
So,
still are
so you
bombing.
can't take it personally.
And those are my fucking people that I hang out there or I used to hang out there all the time, and I would go there on Tuesday nights.
I've never hit.
I've
hit.
never landed a solid joke there, except for the uber shitting myself story.
Yeah.
That was the only one that ever hit, which is a total fucking bullshit lie.
Yeah.
Because it happened to my friend. You take jokes from your. Do you guys do that? Do you guys?
No,
take
we
your
don't take
friends'
jokes.
stories?
No. That is thievery. That's Carlos Mencia.
No, but he's
I have
not
no
no, I'm
career.
not saying from
I have no
another
life
comedian.
in the comedian world anymore. If you take it from somebody else's, you can. If they don't go, if they're not a comedian, can I use that story?
life story.
Yes. You can't
So
do that.
do you
can't
take
that.
your friends' stories who are not comics?
No. 'Cause
No,
I don't know.
I haven't. I use my own.
Yeah, I haven't. The only reason I'm scared because I don't know where they got that joke. Maybe they
could have gotten it from another
Yeah, and they told
comic.
me. And I asked them, "Hey, was that you?" Yeah. Can I use it? Sure. And then all of a sudden,
It becomes their joke.
I'm Carlos Mencia. I'm telling Bill Cosby jokes,
And then you have a comic.
and then we got something else going on.
the
right
mafia coming after you.
there. No, not the mafia. Oh yeah, the comedy mafia. Got you. They will.
They'll
You
hate
will
you.
lose everything. Carlos
Knock
Mencia
you
had
off
a show,
stage.
Yeah, I've heard of this. I am not going to breach on this topic at all.
called the comedy mafia.
I've heard some comics on Facebook talk about it. They were pretty peed off.
Oh yeah.
What a great
You
way
can't
to
steal.
start off our opening episode.
Cannot
is
steal.
by-
You cannot tell somebody else's jokes. Or
If
whatever.
you steal
We all
my
know that. Everyone
jokes,
knows that. We all know. Yeah.
if you steal my jokes, I will
Yeah.
come after you.
You work hard for those things.
I will knock you out.
Yeah.
I will use my black belt and I will knock you out.
Like I have a gonorrhea joke. I had gonorrhea, okay? You can't take my gonorrhea joke. Don't take
I
my
don't wanna
pain and
steal
make it
your gonorrhea
yours.
joke,
Okay?
'cause that's
Don't
kinda
take my
gross.
pain and make it your laughs.
Especially gonorrhea. I don't want your gonorrhea. You can have it.
You know what I'm talking about.
You keep that.
No,
You keep
I
that.
worked
I was
worked
waiting
for
for
that
Aaron
joke.
to go in for
Will,
that.
I suffered for that
You keep
joke.
that in your
And if
pants.
you steal my gonorrhea joke, oh yeah, the comedy mafia is coming after you.
Yes, they'll knock you out.
Is this like the Illuminati of
I
the comedy
suffered.
world? What is going
It's
on?
not your story. I suffered for that. I suffered, dude.
I feel like
16
we
years
could talk
old.
3 hours on this.
Yeah, it's a real thing. I mean, that's like one of the first things you learn being a comic is don't steal somebody else's jokes because you'll get blackballed.
But from friends, you
You'll be
would.
done.
If
No,
you
from
ask
life.
their permission, you would tell
From
their
any
story.
comedy life.
I've asked friends, like I've seen a friend say something. Remember recently, somebody said something funny on Facebook, and I was like, "Hey, do you mind if I use that in my bit?" And most of the time, they're like, "Yeah, go right ahead." But you do got to be careful. You got to be careful that they're not using somebody else's joke as their punchline.
Or they read a meme.
They read a meme, right? Because
It's
that's
a
another
meme.
thing is
You're telling
memes
memes
now.
on stage. Come on, man. Yeah,
Like I think you could
Where's your
set up a
creativity?
meme joke, but you can't just
you could
tell
talk.
a
You
meme
could you
joke.
could talk about a meme. Like how stupid is that shit? But as far as like, there's people who actually memes.
Do it word for word. We'll
Word
do
for
memes word for
and
word.
They go up on stage and do their shit, and people are like, come on, man.
If I know both of you are on mine, everything that I have is I've put at the top of my profile stolen memes. Every one of my memes is stolen. None of them.
Yeah,
if
fuck
they
memes.
are an original
Fuck
meme, I
memes.
put OG next to
I
it.
have no respect for memes.
I share stuff like that on Facebook, but I'm not on stage telling people stuff.
Yeah.
Memes to me are like those jokes, like the knock knock jokes and everything else you tell when our parents and our uncles and our aunts. They all sat around, told jokes. To me, memes are kind of like the same level of ownership. This is funny. I'm going to take it and share it on my page, and everybody can laugh at it.
Yeah.
And that's basically the way it is on Facebook right now.
Oh, but
everything
Yeah.
is like that. Twitter's like that. Instagram's not meme very friendly, but like most of everything else, I think the worst meme I have is actually a reference to Bob Saget's Aristocrats.
Oh,
that's my
fucking-
worst meme.
I love that movie, though.
I've actually never seen the movie. As much as I love comedy, I have not seen that movie.
Everybody look up the aristocrat joke. It just gets worse and worse and worse.
It's the same joke from a different comedian and telling the story.
The same premise. The same premise, different story, and it's just it's a joke that goes to disgusting levels and levels. That's the thing about that joke. It's not the same.
So, Aaron,
it's
this
weird.
is coming out this week. Do you have anything to plug coming up in the next month or so? I mean, you can always come back next week too if nothing's happening.
When does this come out?
This is probably going to be out by Friday. I'm doing a huge audio dump Friday.
Trying to think. I don't have anything lined up after Friday, actually. Nothing to plug at this point, no.
So Grumpy's next Tuesday for you, then.
Probably Grumpy's. I mean, I do the standard open mics.
You don't publicize the open mics, though, do you?
Not really, because those are just open mics.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you guys want to come see me at open mic, I'll be doing Sluice on Saturday night, the Garden Room. Probably the Improv next week on Wednesday.
That sounds good. Now, that will get into our next subject. Do you want to stay with us, or do you want to bounce off?
What time is it?
It's about, I think, midnight. All right, so on the hierarchy of comedy, let's just get this out of the way. Where do open mics stand? I know I'm going to say it, and you're not going to like it. What is between the open mic status and the showcase status? What is the progression of a comedian locally for, say, someone who doesn't know anything about comedy? Let's break down the hierarchy and tell me about it.
You got to start at open mics, and that's it. You got to start at open mics.
So
That's where everybody starts off.
That's
where everybody on TV that you have seen on TV who has a big giant show, who's rich, who's made it. They could charge $3 million. Give me $3 million up front, to do your stadium. They started at open mics, so everybody starts off at open mics. That's the way it is.
Except for Dane Cook. I don't think Dane Cook started an open mic.
Yes, he did.
I think one day he just waked up way too fucking baked and go, I'm going to be a comedian now.
Open
just
mics.
like Joaquin Phoenix tried to become a white rapper for a movie.
But nobody knew him before that, so you can't just say he walked up to a stadium and said, "Hey, I want to fill this place up tonight." Who the hell are you, Dane Cook? He had to start at open mic.
I'm joking.
I get you, but people take this shit literally.
Mm-hmm, yeah, they do.
I want to be a comedian, and they just show up and they take over the show. You're not. It's not going to happen.
Even Preacher Lawson started at open mics.
Open mics. Everybody.
Richard
Richard Pryor, Eddie
doing his
Murphy.
open mics. It was pretty crazy.
Eddie
back
Murphy
then.
started open mics. George Carlin. Anybody you could think of. Lenny Bruce.
I didn't know he was a comedian.
All the way back. Milton
you say
Berle.
Lenny Kravitz?
Milton Berle. George Burns started open mics. Who are these old people? Yeah, I'm talking about.
I know some of these names.
I am talking
I don't know
about
George
back in the
Burns, but-
1800s. If there was open mic, if there was a comedy back then where they had shows and people come on,
Everything
they
was
started
open
off
mic.
at open mics. I'm telling you, ain't nobody just gonna go up on stage and I'm gonna pay this much to see this guy or girl or woman.
My open mic night was serving at a restaurant, telling jokes at a table,
There you
getting
go,
tips
there you
that
go.
way.
Yeah, come out here. Though.
That's how it happened. People are like, "You're funny," and I'm like, "What?
Yeah,
Am I really?" That's what really got me open up.
Yeah.
So, Julie, you started open mics because you were telling jokes at your job, basically, and that's what got you into stand-up comedy?
A lot of people told me I was really funny. And
Yeah.
I had a theater degree, and I loved acting, but I didn't realize that was the realm I needed to go, and everybody kept telling me how funny I was. I didn't know if I was just funny looking or what was going on. Or
I gotcha. Actually, I want to stay with this subject for just a second. Aaron, how did you get into comedy? Was it your friends telling? Anyways, just tell the story.
It's always been the typical somebody's telling me I'm funny. About 4 or 5 years ago, I started listening to, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Nerdist podcast with Chris Hardwick. I found out Chris was a stand-up comic. He actually runs his own, what do you call it, like every year, his own festival, ID10T festival.
Okay.
And then he mentioned that he likes to record his stuff in Evernote, so I downloaded Evernote, started recording all my ideas while I'm working throughout the day. Fast forward a little bit, working at my current job, me and one of my coworkers were talking about, hey, let's start doing comedy, because I mentioned I was interested. I was like, Drunken Monkey, it's just up the road. We get off work, we can go up there and hit it before it gets going. So we did. We went up there one night, and Julie was there that night, and that's I overheard her talking to another comic about a comedy class, and I've been wanting to do a class.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked her about the class. She got me the contact information. I took the class, and then just been going since. I haven't stopped since I took that class.
And now he's a comedy ninja.
Yeah, I see you do a lot of open mics. I'm probably one of those people now who is just in the back. Like, if I'm not there, it's kind of unusual. Like, to the same places like Grumpy's, I was standing in the back for a long time, getting to know the comics, their styles, and everything like that. And I've known William for a little bit now, and watching him do his stand-up. I've seen you not at normal places, but yeah, I've seen you do some on the West Side. I've seen you do some
West Side?
So how did you get into comedy, Will?
The same way as everybody else, and I should have done it when I was young, man. You kids out there, nobody's ever told you, hey, if you're funny, try it now. I should have done this. Now I'm old and shit, but I'm just gonna, but that's how it starts. I think with everybody. Yo, you're funny, you should try it, and I think everybody should try it. If you ever thought about it, try it. And Orlando is the mecca, man. I'm telling you, as far as like getting better, and you could go up every night here. You don't get that every city. You can't even get that in Los Angeles because the places are so. So many comedians, they can't even get on stage. They have to pay out there to get on stage sometimes. So in Orlando, man, this is the place to get here and, get your fruits up and get your thing up and, represent Orlando if you go somewhere. I love Orlando comedy, man. I love this shit. I love this. It's the best fucking place, dude.
There's a place 2 or 3 open mic nights every night of the week.
Yeah. That is one thing I will say. Is
you could have gotten on three times tonight. You could have gotten up 3 times at 3 different mics tonight.
Yeah,
but they came to Aaron Duvall's. It was a good show, man.
I don't know. I kind of fumbled a bit.
First time, shit. We're all supposed. I did it a couple. I fumbled tonight. Nobody even noticed, but I'm gonna go home and watch the video and hate myself for a couple more minutes.
Just that joy of self-deprecating. Yes, I did comedy tonight. Let's see how I did. Oh my god, that was awful.
I hate myself. God. I hate my voice. I hate everything.
So what I've been doing is actually I'm starting to take stand-up more seriously with coming up here in the next few months. But honestly, my whole thing was I was always comfortable being in front of a microphone for a consistent long period of time, not needing to practice the material, but just having the natural funniness to saying just something that's a little over outrageous, I guess. I mean, the one time I did stand-up here, it was so fucking bad, and then I got off stage and we did the podcast and people were fucking laughing and it was hysterical, Yeah. It's like, that's not my stage, this is my stage, but I'm trying to branch out there. I'm the other guy. I'm the radio guy trying to be a funny funny comedian, and that's really the reverse of a lot of things. So
sorry.
Go ahead.
I don't like being by myself up on stage. I love being with a group. That's why I love doing improv.
Yeah.
We were going to get to improv, but tell us what's the difference between improv and stand-up? I guess this is the
big difference. It's just like with hosting a comedy show and being part of it is totally different. So improv is it has to be totally, because I have no idea.
Improv can be funny. It's also serious. It can be whatever feeling that comes out. It's unscripted.
Stand-up. It's different than stand-up also because it's unscripted and you got to work with other people. When you're up there doing comedy as far as stand-up, you're up there alone. Mm-hmm. You're up there like a boxer, and sometimes you come off scathed. I've been there. Oh man, I did 15 minutes. How'd that feel? 15 minutes. It felt like 15 minutes, and sometimes you do 50 minutes. That felt like 5. So improv and they're not even the same in the same box. It's apples and oranges.
I would be a better improv comic than I would be trying to create and write the jokes that I have, because I think they're I'm just trying to get a shock value out of them, and they don't have any merit to them. You know what I mean?
Because got to keep working on them.
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, I've been running the same bit for 6 months, and it's still the same. Aaron, do you do improv at all, or are you just stand-up?
Primarily just stand-up. I thought about trying to do some improv. I don't know how well I'd be at it, but I've always thought about trying it out just to give it a shot.
And you said you have no experience in improv, so we're both going into this as novices.
Yes,
that's why I'm going to teach you guys how to do improv,
because it is totally different. People think it's the same thing, just like
it's not.
I mean, it's just everything's different. Everything different. People try to say, "Oh no, it's the same thing. How can you do this?" Not just like with podcasting.
Right.
I don't know about. I just know how to flap my lips.
Well, the thing is, though, you guys, I was saying you guys all are very creative minded. As long as you have that creativity when you're on that stage, it's helping you think on your feet, think as fast. So you learn those skills to help you in life and other things, not just being on stage.
So
even with comedy, use that same energy. If you the joke doesn't come out correctly, you read
Fix it.
I'm sorry,
Read the audience.
the audience, and you just keep thinking on your feet. I'm not moving on my body.
You're gonna try it.
You let it out.
Yeah.
Let bath.
Hey, if this first show works out, you want to try it the first time. This some of our first time. I don't know if the